Species 4, or Species The Awakening, is yet another direct-to-DVD sequel in the Species franchise, and it follows this story of this man, Dr. Holander, who he created another one of these alien species, because there just seems to be a load of these scientist guys out there creating these things. I don't know why. I don't know why they can't learn their lesson. But yeah, he created one and raised it as his niece. She's now in a place where the alien side of her is starting to take over. And in order to kind of get that in line, he takes her to Mexico to a former kind of work partner, work colleague, that he thinks might be able to help her, sort her out, put her right. But when they kind of try and do something with her to put her right, it actually makes her go far more wrong. And a whole load of your typical kind of sexual kind of weird alien human hybrid nonsense stuff starts to ensue that you've become accustomed to if you've seen the prior 3 movies in this series. But yeah, again, straight to DVD, that has a particular bent to it. If you've ever seen straight to DVD movies, this isn't a good film. It's a toss-up as to which one is worse between this and 3. If you go off the Letterboxd score, then it would suggest that this one is worse. However, I do think this one gets a few things right. Well, right is the wrong word. Better, I would say. It gets a few things better. It does a few things better than the third film did. One of those is pacing, for a start. This is a good 15 minutes shorter than the previous film, which is a great help. Really is. But it feels like more is happening in a short space of time. Like particularly the opening 10 minutes, quite a lot happens in the opening 10 minutes to get the story kind of moving forward. And we get straight into some action as well in a hospital. There's a hospital set piece where this character of Miranda, the niece character, the alien character, she takes out a bunch of hospital staff, and it's pretty gnarly. It's fairly well shot, fairly well handled. Again, given the budget, I'm not saying this is like Ridley Scott Alien level kind of thing, but considering the budget they have to work with, they do a pretty decent job of getting into some of the realm of special effects and schlocky stuff without embarrassing themselves. I feel like the relationship between this guy, this Dr. Holander, and Miranda is for the most part handled pretty well. A little bit creepy at times, but they do go to some lengths to stress that no, he does love her as a daughter and not as a possibility for a sexual object in the future. So I like that they play that card, so to speak. I like that that's the route they go. They also try and put a bit of a religious element into this. Some of it works, some of it really does not. There's another one of these women species, alien creatures, who's a bit more kind of controllable, shall we say. She's not as intelligent as Miranda's character. She's not as advanced. But yeah, she's kind of like this. She's a bad guy. She's like, I guess, the main antagonist of the film at various points. At one point, she's dressed as a nun, and there's no explanation given. It's the most random ass thing ever. I'm like, they never go back to it. They never pick up on why she was dressed as a nun. It's just weird. It's just this weird ass thing that I feel like the filmmakers thought would look cool, but gave no explanation as to why. But yeah, there's another religious element about redemption, about Miranda wanting to seek redemption for what she's done, even though she wasn't in control of herself. She wants to turn herself into the police and do the right thing. That is before she gets treatment and then goes totally off the rails and becomes an alien monster. So again, as with the previous movies, scientists playing God, doing things they shouldn't be doing, and it all goes wrong. It backfires. So we have the character of Forbes, played by Dominic Keating, who I know from Star Trek Enterprise predominantly. I'm sure most people would as well. He's quite fun in this, to be perfectly honest. I know he's a British actor, but he seems to be playing Australian in this. But he's quite a laugh at times, quite amusing. He just has fun with it. And yeah, so he's the partner. He's the one who that they go to get help from. But he's just an amoral degenerate, really. And there's a moment where, you know, when Miranda's in the church and she's talking to her uncle and telling him that she wants to turn herself in and do the right thing, and then that's when Forbes comes in. He comes into the church and he pays absolutely no respect to the church whatsoever, and he makes this kind of joke about shuddering because he's in a church, but that sums up his character just nicely. And I think it also kind of is a segue into what the film is about, because it's a turning point in the film, which is that you're here now, you're in this church, you're in the presence of God, you're talking about doing the right thing, and then you don't, because this guy comes in, he corrupts everything that he touches, and it all goes down the pan after that. So again, it's not done in the best way, but I can see that the film is trying for something. It's aiming for something. It's trying to say something, about the choices we make and the ramifications that they have, and the sinful nature of mankind. But it's just not done particularly well. I think this film has better cinematography than Species 3 as well. I think it's handled much better. There's a more fluid camera movement to it, whereas a lot of the shots in Species 3 were very static. I think there's a bit more kind of attempt to put movement in the shots here and make it feel a bit more cinematic. I feel like the lighting is better. There's a lot more darks, highlighted with like green and red colours within the darkness. And yeah, like I said, I feel like a better job was done of the cinematography. More attention was paid to the look of the film. But beyond that, it's more of the same, really. Not terrible acting, but not great either. I do feel like the performances all around in this film were slightly better than Species 3. Particularly Miranda. I feel the woman who plays Miranda is much more emotive than the woman who played Sarah in Species 3. So I guess what I'm saying is, if pushed on it, if gun to my head, I would say that I would probably rather watch this one again over Species 3. But that's like saying I would rather have a kick in the nuts than a kick in the face. Species, The Awakening, I put myself through it so you don't have to. But if you have put yourself through it, let me know what you think about it down in the comments section below. Do check out my Patreon and membership programs to find out how you can support this channel and what you get in return. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time, crack in.